Hey guys, it's great to be back with you all again today. We're going to be talking about data all this week pretty much. So let's go ahead and look at the specific skill we're going to be talking about. And it is 3.8a. It's summarize a data set with multiple categories using frequency tables, dot plots, pictographs, or bar graphs with scaled intervals. And the I can statement is I can understand data from different types of graphs. Go over here and look at this anchor chart, and we'll talk about some of the vocabulary that we need to know. We said frequency tables. We usually use tally marks to collect data, and then we write the frequency right here in the next column, and that's a frequency table. This pictograph right here, important thing about pictograph is looking at the key right here. The key is going to represent what each picture represents in the picture. So one heart would represent 4 students. And then you have also with pictographs, a lot of times you'll have half of a picture. So half a picture will represent what, half of what a whole picture is. So in this case, the half a heart would represent 2 students. Keys are important in pictographs. Next thing we're talking about is bar graphs. Okay, bar graphs, we use bars to represent the data. And the important thing on a bar graphs is the scale. Pay attention to the scale. And on this particular bar graph, the scale, each interval would represent two people's votes. And then we have dot plots. On dot plots, typically each dot's going to represent a person's vote. So if you count for this one, you could count how many dots are total, and that represent how many people have voted altogether. So next we're going to have watch a video. One of Aaron's videos, 5-minute math videos about the 3.8a, and it's going to be one of the STAAR test questions. So let's get ready and watch that video.
At the 3rd grade concept of representing data, this is standard 3.8a in the great state of Texas, and we are using item number 29 off the 2018 released STAAR test. If you have not done so already, please go ahead and take a moment to pause the video, work this problem out on your own, unpause it, and then we will look at our answers together. So we have this picture of some coins, and it looks like we've got some quarters, some dimes, and some nickels, and we need to change those into a dot plot. Now, dot plots, sometimes they're called line plots, and they are just used kind of like a bar graph, right, where each dot represents one, kind of like a pictograph, to where you have these little dots rather than a bar. And so we kind of put a bar graph and a pictograph together, we'll get a line plot or a dot plot. But what we need to do is we need to figure out what each of these coins are, probably make a frequency table. So I'm going to make a frequency table right over here. I've got a little bit of room. And this frequency table is going to just tell how much value each of these are and how many of them show up. So let's see. So I've got so what coin do I have? I've got, start with my smallest value. I'm going to put a nickel, and then I'll put my value right here. We know that's worth 5 cents. And how many nickels do I have? And I'm just going to put a number right there. Nickels, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so I'll just use tally marks. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, I see dimes. We know those are worth 10 cents. Let's see how many I have. 1, 2. All right. Then finally quarter. So this is going to be a lot easier for me to read when I'm trying to figure out these dot plots. And I've got 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Now that I've got this little frequency table, I know that I've got 4 nickels, 2 dimes, and 3 quarters. So now I need to put these onto a dot plot here. But these dot plots are kind of strange because they have a whole bunch of values. They go from 0 to 50. And there's a lot of these that aren't going to show up. So we do have a 10-cent coin. We do have a 5-cent coin. We do even have a $50, 50-cent coin. And then there's your 25-cent coin right there. So these are the coins that we would possibly have. If you ever wanted to see a penny, I guess you could put one right there. But the thing is these dot plots, they have values that aren't going to show up. There's no such thing as a 20-cent coin or a 30-cent coin or a 40-cent coin or any of the midpoints, the 15, 35, and 45. So that's what makes these dot plots a little bit interesting. We can still make them work. But what A says is there's a 5-cent coin, there's a 10-cent coin, there's a 15, and they just go all the way up. And that just doesn't make any sense. A is going to be incorrect. So B looks a little bit more normal. So let's take a look at B. We've got a 5-cent coin, so that's going to be our nickels right here. And you see we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 dots. So that means we've got 4, which actually checks out. We've got 4 nickels, so that's good. And then on our 10-cent coin, that's our dime right there. I'll put nickel, I'll put dime. We've got 2 dots, boom, boom, which means 2 coins, and that's good. And then we've got 3, but oh, look, they put it in the wrong spot. You see these 3 dots right here? They've got that at 30 cents. All they needed to do was bring that over. It should have been over here at 25 cents. There is no such thing as a 30-cent coin, so we're going to make this incorrect. But our answer is going to look very similar to that. So C, all C does is it at least gets the 3 correct spots. It's got a nickel, and it's got a dime, and then it's got a quarter. But the problem is it only does 1 of each. It just looks like 1, 1, 1. Well, we needed 4 nickels, we needed 2 dimes, and we needed 3 quarters. So correct spots, incorrect amounts. So let's hope it's D. So there is my 5-cent nickel. I've got 4 of them. Check. There is my 2-cent. My 10-cent dime, I've got 2 of those. Check. And there we go. There's my quarter in the right spot, 25 cents. That is correct. There's 3 of them, so the answer is D.
Where should we go on our next class trip? The zoo, the firehouse, or the apple orchard? I'm taking a survey and making a tally chart. What are surveys and tally charts? A survey is a list of questions used to collect information or opinions. Let's see. There are 3 dinosaurs here. Let's take a survey to find out which one our classmates like best. We can use a tally chart to record data or information. Let's see, Moby likes the Stegosaurus the best. You can draw 1 tally mark to stand for 1 vote. 5 kids like the Triceratops. So I'll draw 5 tally marks in that row. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 5th mark is drawn across the other 4. Well, when you group the tally marks by 5s, you can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. Sets of 5s are easier to count. 7 kids like the T-Rex. So after I draw 5 tally marks, I can add 2 more to make 7. Oh, right. I forgot to vote. My favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops. I'll add a tally mark to that row. It's really easy to add to tally charts. Now I can count the votes and use the tally chart to make a bar graph. What is a bar graph? A bar graph is a way to organize and show data. You can write the categories on the bottom. The 3 dinosaurs are the categories. Then you can write the numbers on the side. The numbers in our bar graph show how many people voted for each dinosaur. Let's see. One student liked the Stegosaurus the best, so I fill in 1 square. 6 people voted for the Triceratops, so I color in 6 squares. 7 people said the T-Rex was their favorite dinosaur. You can also put the categories on the left and the numbers on the bottom. You can display the same information in a different way so you can understand it better. How can you use bar graphs to understand information? Bar graphs help you answer questions. Which dinosaur did people in our class like the best? Right, the T-Rex is the most popular. Which dinosaur did people like the least? The Stegosaurus got 5 fewer votes than the Triceratops. You can even use the bar graph to figure out the total number of students who voted. Just add the votes from each category. 14 kids voted in all. I'm almost done with the survey on where to go for our next class trip. So far, the zoo is the most popular. It has 16 votes. But I don't have your vote yet, Moby. Where do you want to go? The moon? I don't think the bus will get us there.
Okay, let's go look at the guided practice questions here. Follow along as I read. It says the table shows the number of drinks that are in 5 different coolers at a picnic. So you have the 5 different coolers. I'm going to call the coolers by letters A, B, C, D, and E. And it says, how many more drinks do cooler A and B have than cooler D and E? So whenever I have a tally chart, we really need to turn it into a frequency table. So we'll go ahead and write down next to it, we'll go ahead and label it, put an F right here for the frequency, how often it happens. So how many drinks are in cooler A? Yep, it looks like I got 5 and 3, and that would be 8. How many drinks are in cooler B? Okay, I'll skip count by 5s. That's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, and then 4 more would be 29. 29 drinks. How many drinks are in cooler C? Okay, we'll skip count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, and then 4 more is 24. How many drinks are in cooler D? Yep, there's 2 5s and a 1. That would be 11 drinks. And how many drinks are in cooler E? Yep, I have 3 groups of 5. That's 15. So, when you figure out how many more drinks do cooler A and B have than cooler D and E? So how many drinks do cooler A and B have? Yep, no, we need to add that together, so that would be 29 plus 8. And 29 plus 8, 8 plus 9 is 17. Regroup the 10 over, and then I have 30. So there's 37 drinks in cooler A and B. How many drinks are in cooler D and E? Yep, that would be another addition sentence. That's 11 plus 15, and 11 plus 15 is 26. So to figure out how many more drinks are in cooler A and B, I would do a subtraction problem. 37 minus 26. What is 37 minus 26? Okay, let's check and see. That's 6 from 7 is 1, and then 2 from 3 is 1, or 20 from 30 is 10. So that means there's 11 more drinks. That would be answer choice A. B. Which cooler has exactly 3 times the number of drinks as cooler A? Okay, we'll look at cooler A. So cooler A has 8 drinks. To figure out 3 times as many, that we do times 3. What is 8 times 3? Yep, 8 times 3 is 24. And we look at the coolers. Cooler C has 24 drinks, so cooler C would be answer choice G. Okay, it's time to complete your independent practice. I'll put a PDF down there that you can print out and do your independent practice that way. But make sure you do the blue puzzle piece with today's date on it. Take your time, do your very best. This is what we look at to see if you understand the material. And if you have any questions about anything or something doesn't seem like it's working like it's supposed to, please send your teacher an email or send them a message in Schoology. Remember, take your time, do your very best, and best of luck to you.